Hi guys, how are you all? This is Miss Sonisha, and now I'm going to talk about addiction and impulse disorder, but a little bit of addiction today. So, what is addiction? Addiction is being abnormally addicted to something, some stuff, some substance. For example, the most common examples of addiction are alcohol addiction or drugs addiction, and in today's language, we call it substance abuse as well. So normally, why does addiction happen in the very first place? Addiction happens when there's a repeated use of something. Like if I'm going to smoke cigarette every day, even though if I don't feel any withdrawal symptom if I don't smoke, then that is also called an addiction. For example, I have a habit of drinking tea. I like drinking tea like early in the morning and in the afternoon if it's cloudy, or in the evening. And the first thing, the example I'm giving about tea is because it is also a kind of it also falls under a kind of addiction, and I'm giving an example of myself. Most of us, what we feel after drinking tea, we feel a bit stimulated. We feel like, oh my god, there's so many works to do. I'm going to drink tea and I'm going to do it. And I bet that 95% of people complete all of their tasks or half of their task after drinking tea. Why? Because tea has caffeine in it. We all know this. Tea and coffee has caffeine in it, and caffeine stimulates dopamine, a chemical. It's a part of a brain. Like mm, tea normally stimulates us and motivates us to complete all our tasks. The main reason is because of the dopamine. It increases the level of dopamine in our brain, in our neurological part of the brain. So this is very similar to alcohol and any other drugs. The main reason why people keep on using this substance is because they are having this stimulating effect. They are getting motivated. They are having high level of dopamine in their neurological part. And the effects of these drugs are so good that you are going to complete half of the task on time, but you feel like high. This is the informal language that many people use it, like feeling high. Why do people feel high? Because the chemical called dopamine increases in the neurological section of the brain, and this is the reason why people feel so stimulated, so motivated after this substance abuse. Now let me tell you the symptoms if any people are using this substance. For alcohol use, if women are drinking 8 glasses every week, then it is called addiction. 8 glasses of wine, I mean. And for men, if men are having 10 to 11 glasses every week, then this is called substance abuse in men. This is very similar to the drugs as well. So some of the symptoms are abnormally habituated to the substance. Number two, inability to resist the use of substance, like feel to like abnormal habit of drinking every day, every night. Some people, for example, some people who have habit of drinking alcohol, they say that I am not a substance abuser because I normally drink alcohol at evening. But the reason is he drinks every evening. Even though he doesn't drink in the morning, he has a good work position, or he has a really good friend circle, but he has the habit of drinking at evening, and he calls himself that I'm not a substance abuser. Then it's wrong. Because the thing is that at least he is using the substance every evening. It's a part of his life. So this is one of the symptoms. Another one is most of the substance abuser, they say that I'm going to end this habit of smoking and drinking, but they cannot. So the inability to stop it. And the fourth one is withdrawal symptoms, that some people try their very hard to stop it because of the family pressure maybe, but they are unable to stop it. They think that they are going to stop it as soon as possible, but they start it again. So that is the one of the symptom of addiction. So what are the effects of addiction? Effects of addiction are obviously in their mental part, in their physical part as well, because most of the addiction suffering people are unable to keep up with their daily routine. They are unable to keep up with their hygiene. They don't have good food, no good rest, no good sleep, and it is very visible in their physical part, in their physical life as well. And the other effects are friends. Most of the substance abuser, they don't have good friend circle. Slowly they depart away from friends, from family. Even their family stops losing any trust. They start losing trust from them. And so there are a lot of trust issues. Another form of the most common addiction these days is gambling. The reason why American Psychological Association has kept gambling as a form of addiction is because a lot of people are wasting their money and are getting bankrupt because of gambling. And gambling has the very similar stimulating effects like drugs and alcohol. In fact, gambling has a lot of dangerous, devastating effects on individual. Guys, this much for today. Now I'm going to talk about the ways to cope with addiction in my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my videos to your near ones. Thank you. Have a lovely day.